Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, everybody. What is happening? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a great session so far. So I was looking around and I have my eyes on EA today because to me, it looks like this is a pretty nice breakout candle from yesterday on the daily through the liquid 50. Potential to the downside to at least come back and check these lows, which seems to be another 60 pips potentially lower. So I'm liking EA short. That's the pretty much the sole move I'm looking for today. I would like to see another day of a bearish extension based off of yesterday's daily close. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I haven't really looked around the market yet. So before we do that, let's just bust out this disclaimer and get it going. Thanks for being here. The disclaimer is that trading any financial market requires a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You should only trade with money you can afford to lose. Proper risk management is essential in trading all financial markets. If you do not have an understanding of proper risk management, it would be best to educate yourself further before beginning to trade. The content I provide is for general information purposes only, as well as entertainment, and should not be interpreted as advice, investment, financial, or otherwise, as I am not a financial services provider. However, if you choose to follow along with any of my trade positions, please know that you do so at your own risk. All right. Michael's in the house nice and early. What's up, brother? How are you? I'm hoping for a good trading day as well. Still flat today. Nothing wrong with that. Didn't see anything that you like so far. Yo, what's up, Jafar? Jafar's in the house. Good morning, guys. Good afternoon. Good evening. I know everybody's all over the world. Wherever you are, it's a pleasure to have you here. I thank you so much. So, like I said, I do like EA because of what we're seeing here on the daily. Don't want to get overly confident in that, but to me, I think that's going to be a move that I'm looking to take today for another day of bearish continuation. So we will wait and see if the market plays out in that fashion. GJ, I know that JPY is on a bank holiday today, right here, all day, JPY, bank holiday. There is 10:30 crude oil inventories news. Everything else seems pretty okay. There's something going on right now at 8:30, so I'm not too concerned with news. So we're just gonna watch and wait. JPY fell off a little bit yesterday into London and now to come right back up because again, overall it's in an uptrend. So we want to try and stay with that move as much as we can, and that would have really done well for us yesterday. This is just ridiculous. We had it down here with the triangle, broke out of the triangle, a little retest with a pin. It was just like, no, I'm going. And it completely smashed. I was in at, where was I in? 60, 59 something? I was in at 59 flat yesterday. Right here. 59. This is where I was in basically. This candle closed. I got in on this next candle where it was kind of starting to break up again. So this thing went 80 pips yesterday. Blew its ADR and then continued even higher. 130 for my entry yesterday. Let me not forget to remind you that I was in at 20 on Monday down here. If I had held it with 3 standards on it, it's a lot of money. 17 times 3, you do the math. So lots and lots of movement on Euro because it is in an overall uptrend buying condition on the TDI, on the daily. Broke through previous structure high, continuing. Stay with the trend, stay with the trend. I laugh at anyone who told me that Euro was falling off the past couple weeks. I laugh at you. Stay with the trend. And I got screenshots on my Instagram to prove it. Arguing with people. Euro's falling. Yep. Looks like it fell well. How's that position? AU. Higher. Because it's in an overall uptrend. This DXY is just falling. It just continues to fall. Just stay with it. ADR is blown out on DXY and EU, so that's not going to be in play for us today. Like I said, my play that I like to see is EA down. I would really, really, really love to see a short on EA based on, again, this daily analysis. When I see a position like this is my entry. I'm entering here, and then my stop would be all the way up here, but I'm not inclined to take it as a swing. I want to see if I can find an entry in here that shows and confirms continuation to the downside to try and at least come and hit these lows, if not move lower, because it is in an overall selling condition. So we want to sell this, and we want to be cautious, and we want to make sure that it's not going to just kind of chop today. As you can see, it has been chopping, hit this low here, and then it's just been sideways. We want to make sure that we get confirmation of continuation to the downside, and then we take it for another rip. As you can see, it just fell down, and then yesterday was the big move, sideways. I'm waiting for the next down, down, sideways, down. Doesn't matter the time frame, trade it the same. Yes, absolutely, Jafar, definitely ranging, but that's all right because I'm looking for the consolidation to break to the downside. More continuation down based off of this push on a daily. Strong extension showing me that it has momentum. I'm looking for another day of bearish momentum to at least these lows, if not lower. That's because I would take this. If this was a 15-minute chart, this would be my entry. If this is a 30-minute chart, this would be my entry. 5-minute chart, this is my entry. This is the break through the liquid 50 continuation. So I'm looking for it today. I might not get it, but this is what I'm focused in on. I'm focused in on trying to get short EA for the continuation based on the daily. And I'll just see how close of a stop I can get and see if we can get this thing to really move. Again, if it doesn't present, I won't trade it. But yeah, 100% Jafar. I think this is the way to go. 100%. If it doesn't present, then I won't swing at it. But that seems to make the most sense. AU looks pretty decent as well. It has gone its ADR though. You can see here on the 5-minute that it's no wait, it hasn't. Sorry. Yeah, it has. This is the ADR line. So AU's also gone ADR, so I make a green because my green line is ADR. EA, red for short. We want to go short on that. GJ is on a bank holiday because JPY is on a bank holiday. It's almost gone. It's pretty much gone its ADR. And it's a little bit choppy. Went down and came right back up to these highs. And this makes complete sense because, as I was saying yesterday, this was a huge push from Monday. So after a big push, sometimes you see a little correction, sometimes you see a little bit of sideways momentum before potentially the next move up. So that's exactly what you're getting. A little bit of sideways, a little bit of correction. It's doing exactly what we want it to do. Now you're just going to wait for the next push up. Don't know if it's going to be today. JPY and a bank holiday might not be the best day to trade it. It's almost at its ADR. I think EA is shaping up to be the best. GU has not gone ADR. It's got a little bit of space in it, up to about 50-ish, which from where we are is about 35 pips. 161. I'd get in it after breaking 16116. All the way down. Oh, you'd like to get in it, seeing it break the lows here. 116. 1.6. 116, like right here. Yeah, you'd like to see it break the lows. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. I think if it starts to roll over and you start to see momentum, I think you could take it early, because this is the start of the day right here. Right where this is where the candle closed on the daily. So up here is the candle open, so to speak. And then this is where candle has pushed to. So We'll see. We'll see if it pushes back into the candle. It could do anything, but I'd like to see it fall today. If it doesn't, then unfortunately it just doesn't. GU's got a little bit of space, as we were saying, left in its ADR, but it's a little funny. Looks great on the daily. It got that push yesterday because, like we said, it pushed up. It looked better than GJ because this wasn't as massive as a candle, but it was a nice breakout candle. So your anticipation is that you get another push to the upside. You can see it's like right at these highs, which happen to be at ADR around 50-ish. You would anticipate that's going to try to push to these highs. It's above the trend line. It's above the liquid 50 market sentiment. It's in a buying condition. Stay long. Stay long. But the only thing really in play is EA and GU, really. Everything else is kind of blown its ADR. I mean, we'll keep watching in case for some odd reason you get a Wednesday midweek reversal. This is really extended, but there's no reason for it to stop, so there's no reason to call a reversal on this. It's just out of play because I can't buy it anymore because it's gone ADR. It's a great pair. It's ripped Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I should have just been sitting in it because I was in trend, but I didn't. So now you just got to work with what the market's giving you. And I'm really, really focused on this one to see if it does give me that extension on the daily after that nice close yesterday. So we'll be patient. Super early, and we'll see what happens. Anybody else looking at anything around the market? Any pairs you guys are looking at besides the 5 that I trade? We can take a peek around, see what's going on. The big watch list. See AUDs moving up. They got the momentum that other night from that news, it looks like. Let's get into CADs. I don't have any CAD pairs. What's up, Pockets? How you doing? Shoot, Jafar, go ahead. What you got? What's your question, brother? What do I think of ACAD? I think it's divergent right off the jump. Something like that. Because if this was going to be a good break to come lower right here, and that's why I draw it like this, because it came down, sideways, down, came back up. If it was really good, it would have held here and threw another candle, and then you enter here and you continue it short, but it didn't. It broke back into the box. So to me, it's ascending choppy. If you look at the higher time frame, it's clearly in a buy. You're above the trend line. You're above this market sentiment. You're in a buying condition. It's clearly moving higher. It is not blown out on ADR. ADR is all the way up here at 52. So you've got another 27-ish pips from where price is at to get you to ADR. It is a little bit divergent. And then if you do it on like a micro level, it looks like this. Something like that. It's the same thing. So you need to break, retest, confirm, or break, retest, confirm. Let it break first. Let the market move first. Like I said, it is divergent on multiple time frames, but it is overall in an uptrend, so you wouldn't want to stay away from that uptrend. Just might not be a play today, potentially, just because it is only has so much space left in its ADR, but It looks like it's still trying to move higher. You know what I mean? Divergent, but still trying to move higher. That's my best analysis on it. I'd probably look for a different pair just because it doesn't have that much space left on ADR. But if you can get in for a tight stop that's plausible, maybe you can try and take it to ADR. Keep my eyes on EA. Yeah, right now it's kind of like in this box. Maybe something like that. Roughly. Again, when I draw these things, they're just for like price containment. They're not like the absolute everything, you know. They do seem to work out pretty well when I draw them, but you can see I had this nice impulse into it, came down, oversold. You're going to get some type of correction. It's chopping sideways, but as it's chopping sideways, the liquid 50 is resetting itself. I don't anticipate this to come higher. I'd like to see this roll over and fall based on the daily. I'd like to see another day of bearish momentum, a bearish daily close. So I'm going to try and wait and see if we can find it. And if not, then just don't trade it. You're in a buy after the break of the daily high on April 19th. That divergence is making me nervous. April 16th, 2019. Oh, you might be going back really far. Let's see. So you're all the way back here. April. So you're right at this level. To me, I mean, yeah, like I guess you can trade back that. You can look back that far. But if you look at the weekly, I would be looking at this level, this top, because this one, I don't know, you see what I mean? This one seems more pronounced. But you have to get past one to get to the next one first. The weekly, this thing looks great. It's hard to trade a weekly. It looks great on a daily. It's got every bit of potential to keep going. I would definitely stay long on it. I wouldn't look for a reversal or anything on this. Like, yeah, it is divergent, but overall, this is still moving higher, and it can still move price action higher while maintaining a lower RSI value. Like I said, I would just look to the 5-minute and see how it breaks. If it breaks above the box and then retests it and then moves higher, then you're good. If it breaks below it, comes back and doesn't move back into the box, if it hits the bottom of this channel and then throws another bearish engulfing pattern, then it might be tapering off, and then you can know that, like, just, you know, lock some profits, take some gains, and see if it can find momentum to the upside. But a break, a retest, and then a confirm back down, to me, would probably signal a little bit more momentum downward on a correction off of the divergence on the 15-minute. That's kind of how I would look at it. Getting up to the top here on the 1-minute on EA. Still looks good. Like I said, we do say it's choppy. Jafar does make sense what he says, to see it kind of break out down here before you take an entry. That's certainly wise. I know my overall direction I'd like to get in it, so I could be aggressive, because if it just comes down and hits the low and then doesn't get in, I could still make a profit. So we'll see how it plays out. We got a lot of time. I'm just going to continue to keep an eye on it and see if it actually does present. Right here on the 5-minute, doesn't look great, as it kind of pushed up strong sideways, 2 candle here. It is kind of up and down, up and down. Is divergent here, but like inversely divergent, where this is a higher price action but it's lower. So I don't know what that means. So we'll just watch and wait. See what else is going on around the market here. Pound Swiss. Let's blow up this. This is a 5-minute chart. I don't want a 5-minute chart. I want to see this. Channel. My internet. I might need to update my internet or something, man. I feel like it's just dragging. Maybe it's my PC or my laptop, whatever. Comes down, correct. See if it continues down. Falling. Ugly. That's why it's not on my list. I don't like that pair. Let's see what GJ's doing on his bank holiday. You wonder if it because this is a lower high here. You wonder if it fails and then topples off again. Again, overall it is an uptrend, so you don't want to say that. Clearly on the 4-hour, you're still above the 50. This was a nice push on the 20th and just pushed all the way up to the highs, came back, finding support. You had anticipated to come back up, trying to move higher. If it gets up here, can't get through the trend line, starts to falter, then potentially you could see it fall off. You could see how it kind of came down, made a low, could come up and make a lower high at this level where it rejected off, and then it comes back down. I don't want to call it that way because again, it is an overall uptrend. To me, it's still just sideways off of this really nice daily push, and I think you're looking for a little bit of correction and a little bit sideways momentum before your next push up to come and try and hit these highs. That would be how I would read it on a 15-minute chart. So I try to read it the same exact way on the daily, no matter how implausible it seems at the times that it has to go another 260 pips. That's just how I read it. It makes sense. If it's moving higher, why would it not come and check these highs? Because if it's going to go higher, it's going to come and at least test these highs. That's how I read it on any other time frame. So I'll read it the same on the daily. So I would stay long GJ. And that's why I want to stay short on EA as much as I can. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't come back on this daily candle here. Doesn't mean it can't come back and come up here and hit this EMA, you know, come back, give a little correction, and then continue. So I'm going to be very watchful. It doesn't mean that it can't also have a bullish day, and then on the third day, you get the push you're looking for. Again, the stop would be up here, but I'm not trading it swing. I'm not swinging this. I want to intraday this. So while I like the momentum to the downside, I have to not be so stuck in the ways that it has to be today. A lot of times when it's clean like this, poof, it takes off, but it doesn't have to. It could come back. You could see a bullish candle, and then Thursday it moves down, or Friday it moves down. So I'd like to see it move today. There's momentum in this cross. I think it moves today, but I'm not going to be overly aggressive if it's not showing me the proper signals. That's my opinion. AUDs and NCDs falling off. Yeah, higher. This was really nice. If you're up here, 4:45 in the morning, down, sideways, pushes right back up to this level. You know what you're looking for. You're looking for more momentum to the upside. Entry here, stop down here, moves higher. At least to come and check these highs, if not move higher, because if it's going to move higher, it has to at least come and test these highs. Wash, rinse, repeat. Down, sideways, down. Stop here. If it is making structure, it shouldn't come lower than here. It should come back and then retest here at like 67 and then potentially push higher if it's got space on ADR. Above the trend line, above the liquid 50 in a buying condition. It's pretty clean. This is probably down. Yeah. Sideways, breakout, down, comes back, corrects, breakout. This one's better because you can get a tighter stop. You could take this one here as the impulse down, but your stop is all the way up here, or you take this one and your stop is here for a much tighter stop, and you're probably already out of this trade for 2R. So push, correct, push. Confirm it that it's good and that the divergence wasn't kicking in. This shows confirmation. Comes back. I like it. All right. Coming up on 9 o'clock. We're still correcting and consolidating here. Like I was saying on the 5-minute, looked like it was starting to make uptrending structure. Up, sideways, 2 candle, and you got the push on the 2 candle. We're going to try and see how this thing shakes out. If it does indeed try to come lower today, or if it's just got... I think it should. I mean, I don't know for a fact. I don't know anything for a fact, but with that push on the daily, I would like to see it, the next daily candle, be bearish. Sideways here on GJ, but after this push, I would think sideways, and if I'm staying long biased, I would think sideways and then the next push up. This is where I got caught when I was down to shore on GJ. I got caught, what day was it? It was Thursday, Friday, Thursday, right? Where is it? This is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Friday, Thursday. Yep, right here. This is where I got caught because it was falling. Sorry, this is taking a while to get to you guys, but it's going to make sense when I teach it. Down, fell down, right? Came back up, went sideways, kind of like it's going sideways right now today. I tried to short it like an asshole, and it pushed up higher because overall it was in an uptrend. So I should have stayed with the trend. So then you could see clearly, you know, never broke the lows here. Came back and tried to test them, but it was still making a higher low and then just shot off. So now here it's doing it again. Comes down, comes up, moving a little bit sideways. Does it push higher? Now it's gone ADR. So, but again, you know, be mindful of the overall trend. This one just seems to have a lot of strength to move higher. GU. Overall an uptrend, but this market sentiment is in a selling condition right now, so it could be a little bit of consolidation. No reason to not try and take it higher. You are at these highs, but again, look at how this looks. This is again a daily chart, but look at where the price action is in relation to the trend line. They're not meeting, so you wouldn't expect a reaction. In my mind, you would just expect more continuation. You threw it here, again a nice down, right back up. Interesting. It's really interesting. Up, sideways. Would you anticipate more momentum to the upside? Got space on ADR. About, like I said, 35 more pips from where price currently is. Four-hour candles. Let's take a look around. Oops, sorry. This one. Like we said, this is that right back up candle on a 4-hour here. Not as high. Didn't bullish engulf it. Didn't get through the trend line. Might not be the greatest. not the right time. You know, timing. It's all about timing. EA on the 4 hour. See, down, sideways. I want to see down. Falls down, sideways. Price action starting to fall. I want to see it continue down. And it still could come back up. But you're getting a lot of sideways momentum. I'd like to see it come back down. On the hour, again, above this trend line, you need to see it curl over. It's not looking great right now. So we will see what happens. AU's blown its ADR, but we'll take a peek at it. Nice 4 hour candle here. I mean, again, I'm not looking for the correction. I'm not looking for the reversal on these. They have been running though. But still got potential to move higher. They've blown ADR. And that doesn't automatically tell me, like, you know, just sell it then because it's blown ADR. Or because it's been running for, look at all these days. Just here was the 3 candle right here on the 13th. Now if you're a swing trader and you see the way that I usually call these positions, down, you're in an overall uptrend, so you want to take it down, sideways, up, 3 candle bullish engulfing. Take that there like this with the stop here for, you know, call it 50 pips, and it's gone. 4R, 240 pips. So any time frames, the same patterns. Stay with the trend. So this thing's been running. I don't see an end to it. I wouldn't say that it's done rising. GJ right back up at this trend line. There's going to be a reaction. It's either going to find momentum and push up and through it, or it's going to falter off. It's overall in an uptrend. You think you want to stay with that momentum to the upside if you can. It is on a bank holiday, but again, up, sideways, maybe some more upward momentum. It's basically at ADR, so it doesn't have much space in it, so I'm not going to play that. EA keeps pushing higher. It's up at 80 now. So maybe I just don't find a trade today. Maybe I can't trade, and that's all right if that's the way it's going to be. GU seems like it could be a really good trade to try and take higher because we know that the overall trend is long. Again, timing on this isn't the best, but this, just because this candle didn't make it bullish engulfing doesn't mean that it can't continue higher. You'd like to stay again with the overall trend. DXY, it's fallen pretty good. You wouldn't call an end to that, right? You would be like, look, this is still falling. You might get a little pullback, a little correction, but overall it's still falling. It's getting to be a little bit divergent on a 30-minute. You're starting to see a little correction, so maybe you could see a little correcting on EU to the downside. I don't know if I want to play it short, but we'll monitor it, because if it does start to correct, and you can confirm a correction, maybe we can take something. Try and come back to like the 800 for like a reset to the 50. Like I said, I don't want to, oh, excuse me, I don't know if I want to play it like that, but 84 higher for EA. Again, this 5-minute was starting to tell you the case. Up, sideways, 2 candle. Off of, just here, if you just bought it off of this, stop below the structure, up, sideways, up. Say it's 11, say it's 12. It's already gone 24 basically. So it's 2R just on this little push right here. Up, sideways, 2 candle bullish engulfing. Same thing I always tell you guys. Stop underneath the structure. Stay with the momentum. Momentum's moving higher. Overall, want to see it down because of what it's done on the daily. But it doesn't mean that you can't get a pullback to this EMA. You can't get, you could get a day of just a candle back up, and that you wouldn't want to see that. That wouldn't be great. But a nice strong candle breaking this consolidation through the market sentiment in a selling condition gives me confidence that there's momentum to the downside, and that's why you would want to stay with that to at least these lows, if not lower. Now, some people might say, well, yeah, it did push a pin to it. Maybe it's making a higher low and it's going to move higher. But to me, this is a really strong selling condition. I'd like to stay short biased on it. But for now, you can see it's just going higher and higher. GJ having a little bit of trouble as it hit that level again. A little bit diverging here on a 5-minute. Could see. It's kind of pinning back up, pushing down. See how it plays out. I'd like to stay long on GU if we can. It's got a little bit of space in ADR. We'll have to see what it does. Up, a little bit sideways. Let's see if it holds and tries to push higher. DXY. We said DXY is gone its ADR max, but it's still very much selling. So I don't want to go away from that. We don't want to call an end to it until we start getting confirmation that it's over. EA is moving higher, 91 now. When we first started looking at this, it was like 70, if I'm not mistaken. It was even lower, it was like 60s. So this thing is really pushing. Really, really pushing. It did have a massive drop, correcting. Again, like I said, you could see it move up. I want to see it move down, but until it really shows me that it's done pulling back, because right now it's just pulling back. And again, if you were in a 15-minute position, you would know that you'd be taking a stop up here at, like, call it 20, 163.20. You know, your entry would be down here, so it can pull back and then still continue lower. So until it starts to show me that it's, finding resistance and moving lower, I just can't trade it. I think the one thing that we could really try to trade is GU higher. I think we could try to do that if it confirms that it's going to try and move up. Nothing super clear. I have no problem if I'm flat today. That's fine. I'm up really nice on the week. I'd like to keep it going and find something, but if nothing presents, then it is what it is. See how We'll see if we can monitor DXY. You can see here on the 5-minute how it kind of came down. I'll blow it up for you guys. Made a low here. Made another low on price action, but it's higher. Now you're starting to curl this trend line underneath like it could be. And this is a up, kind of up and out. So let's see if it goes sideways and then continues correcting up, or if it stays with this overall trend, which has been falling. Again, I'd like to say stay with the overall trend, which is falling. It is divergent though. I can't deny and ignore that. So if you start to see that you're getting like a Wednesday midweek reversal after 3 days of, this week, strong push, then maybe we can find EU short and make a couple bucks that way. So there's definitely opportunities. I just want to make sure that if I do take these opportunities, that I'm taking them correctly and not just getting in without confirmation. Because if I'd like to stay with the trend, I'd like to try and stay with GU higher. It's not divergent on the 5-minute. It's got every bit of potential to continue higher. It's still got space on ADR. It's a little funky on this market sentiment here as it's kind of dipped in. But when you get a drop like that, remember it's a boat. It's going to pull. If it holds this trend line here, it can hit it and push up higher, and like the trend line acts as a support, or it's going to cross through it and fall back in, and then it's correcting off of its uptrend. I don't feel like it should, because just look at the daily like this. Again, don't look up here where it says 1D. Just look at the structure. What would you say? You'd say this looks pretty good. I think it's above the liquid 50. It's above this trend line. It looks like it's got every bit of potential to try and come and get up towards these highs, if not break these highs. That's how I would look at it. I would try and stay long on it. But that doesn't mean that these lower time frames start to fall off and then the daily then moves in kind, because you're looking at it early. The lower time frames then obviously fractal into the higher time frames. Keep an eye on the DXY. Higher for EA, 95 now. This thing's just screaming up. All good. All good, all good. SPIMA, 9504, 9506, 9511 implanted DXY. You think you're going to get that correction off of this big momentum to the downside? You think we're due for a little correcting? Is that the 10 o'clock number, SPIMA? Yeah, I want to see how it holds the structure here. You can see it broke up sideways, broke up. This is a 1 minute, but still, it's the same thing. Like if it starts to push up, if it like up, this is a nice breakout, you know what I mean? You want to confirm it. It would be sideways and then a 2 candle. If it does that, then maybe you start to see it correct. This is still in a selling condition, but you could start to see momentum up. It could come back and try and test the low, stay above this liquid 50, and then continue higher. So I'll give it some time and wait for it to really develop. And if it does look like indeed it's correcting, then I'll probably take EU short. Why not? If it's looking like that, then GU would probably fall over too. The dollar pairs would start to fall over. And as AU, you can see we're about to hit 160-200 here on EA, which could be a significant level psychologically for people. Way out of the box. Way up and out. That doesn't mean that this is necessarily the move. It'd have to come back, confirm this as resistance, or excuse me, support in this case, and then push again. Or it could just rip. It could just keep moving higher. It's on Globex, not sure. Has volume buyers. Okay. Keep an eye on it. Definitely keep an eye on it. Again, like we said, it's definitely a little divergent here on EA or EU, excuse me. We know overall trend is long, has smashed its ADR. Doesn't mean it can't move higher. So we're going to try not to play these. We're going to see what happens though. You can see right here, you're starting to make structure. Down, sideways, 2 candle. Now you're getting extension. Starting to fall. Liquid 50's falling. Price action's pulling the trend line. You're starting to fall. You would anticipate that potentially you come back here. Potentially. If you're going to do like a full reset. Which would bring it back to the 50. Right here on the 15 minute. That's not a guarantee, but that's what I typically see. It could just hold this right here. And continue higher because it is an overall uptrend. So we don't want to give up on that uptrend and call a top just yet. That's how we get burned. EU has divergence forming on the 5 minute. Let's get onto a 5 minute chart. Yeah. Yeah, and you can see you're starting to, it could, I mean, it's certainly plausible that it could fall off down, sideways, down. Here on the 5 minute maybe. You are right back at this high, this previous structure high. So I want to make sure that it doesn't hold that high and then try and continue up with the overall trend. So it could just be a break, a retest, and then a continuation. So if it does hold, push up higher, and then fizzle here again and kind of double top, we'll see how it goes. But I see exactly what you're seeing, Pockets. That's a really good call on this divergence. Yes, it's like sitting right at ADR right now. I was trying to find it. It's because my price line is green. It's blending in with the green of the ADR. 13600 for JPY, GJ. EA is just continuing to push higher. 04 now. This could just be pulling back on the daily. That's why I loved it to come short, but I'm not going to get it short until, until it presents. That just makes no sense. Especially on like something like a daily, because that's a really big time frame. So you want to make sure that you get confirmation that it's going to keep going lower from these lower time frames. Because again, the stop's 144 pips. I'm not taking 144 pips. This looks like it's moving up. Yep, see? On the 5 minute, what did I say? What we could see. You could see it come up, sideways, and then the next candle's to push up. EU's going to be doing the same thing. Down, sideways, down. I don't know if I want to short it, though, just yet. I don't know if that's really the move. Again, on the 1 minute, I'd be targeting the 800 down here, which is at 46. So it is a good 40 pips or so. 36 pips from where 35 pips from where price currently is. It's not a guarantee. It doesn't have to get there. But if you are seeing correction, it would make sense. I feel a little early if I'm shorting it up here, because it could come back and test the highs. So I think I'm going to wait a little bit on it. It's a pretty good push on DXY. I don't want to call an end to the trend just yet. little bit more confirmation. $10 a.m. EU expirations. 1.1375. Well, that's not going to happen. 1.1500. Certainly. I don't know. That's 86 pips from 1.500 all the way down here. I mean, that would. The market can do anything it wants. You know, it's something that seems like, wow, that's an 80 pip move. You know, that doesn't seem. It could. It certainly could. Right now, it looks like it's fallen as the DXY is trying to get momentum up. Don't know that I'm ready to short it. The 1 minute you can see is making pretty good structure. Down, up, down. Probably another 2 candle right here. It's falling, but it could settle. I'm not ready to sell it just yet. What's GU doing? GU's falling off too. GJ's holding 13600. Broke under on the 1 minute. You can see broke under to 50, came back up. Looks like it's trying to throw another pattern, but let's see, like down, sideways, down. Here's one. Comes back, retests that entry, down. I don't know yet though. 1 minute's very fast. Still overall in an uptrend. DXY is pushing higher. I like the trend. You see some pullback happening before up. You can see EU's pulling down hard. DXY's moving up. Like we said, you would like to see it like it's trying to reset here. It's making structure on the 1 minute. Starting to fall off. EA higher 11. Really extended. It's right back at these highs. Here. It's literally right here. You could see this was support. Then it became resistance. Just on these 2 low candles. Came down, hit it, broke through it. Retest, confirmed it. Down. Coming back to it. Does it get up and above and bounce higher? Does it flake and then fall back into the box? Give this market some time. Still early. Again, don't neglect the trend. Now what I'm saying with EU is you could still see it come back up to try and retest these highs, falter, and then move lower. So I don't want to be selling it here. Not yet. I really don't want to be selling it at all, honestly. It's in an uptrend. That's why I think I'd still like to try and stay with a buy on GU if we could. That would be the best one to try and maybe trade higher, if anything, if we're looking to like stay with the trend. But I think the more we wait, the more the market's going to show its hand, and then we'll be like, okay, here it is, you know. Now we can do this, you know. EA's falling hard. See? Hit this area, came right back. It was all the way up at 16, and now it's all the way down 20 pips. So there's a lot of volatility in this pair. I want to stay short on it, and I want to catch a big move on it. But I can't do it until I get good confirmation. It is diverging here on the 1 minute. You can see clearly it's in this channel right here, ascending channel. Broke the channel. You can see how this price action moves higher, but it's flat here, and now it's starting to fall. Let's see if we can get it to pull back up and kind of test it and then fall again. I don't have a problem shorting that. Like I said, I want to be overall downtrend based on the daily. So let's just get confirmation, and let's see if we can make this thing rip. I really want a big move out of this. So let's see what happens. We're not done on this thing yet. Retesting continuation is a good play to aim for, sure. I should have held your position on EU yesterday. Yo, pockets, me too, bro. Same. I took the 2 L's yesterday, and I was just like, let me just make back my money. But had I held it, it's tough, man. It's tough. But again, if we're just staying with the trend, we shouldn't be afraid. Because if it's gonna rip, it should push higher in this case of EU, because we're staying with that trend. I think it's when you're counter that you can get yourself in trouble, where you're like, oh, this might turn around on me. But where's the turnaround of trend? It should just keep pushing. So we're gonna get better. Gonna get better at this. See GU trying to find support because we want to stay with that overall uptrend of a dollar quote pair to the upside and a DXY to the downside. But EA really is something I'd really like to make a play on this if I could. Now, after all this push to the upside, you're going to anticipate some type of sideways momentum, and then maybe it does go sideways and continue higher. Overall, I'd like to see it come down. It doesn't have to, but again, overall, I would like to see it. This was a really good close yesterday. Strong momentum through. If a candle closes higher, it's going to look like it's not even through it. You know what I mean? But again, if it's in a selling condition, if it's overall looking like it's in a downtrend, as it's been looking like it's in a downtrend, then I'd like to try and stay in that momentum if I can. We just need to find an area of resistance. Right now, this doesn't look great as this is like rising. But again, if it doubles over and falls, then we're good. DXY continuing to move a little bit lower, just a little bit. You can see you're starting to get some momentum on GU. Starting to hold here on the 1 minute. Up, sideways. Has it got it to get up? Or is this downtrend correction strong? And this was just like a test to here, and it's going to fall back down again. Wow. As I said it. Literally as I said it. It was just like bloop. Yeah, look, you see, it's. I think you're gonna see it. DXY looks like it's trying to get up, so it's gonna topple down these Euro and GU pair. It's not confirmed yet, but keep an eye out for it. EA back up, right back up. See what happens as it reaches these highs. 9:30 stock market's opening. Hour into my session here. How's everybody feeling? Being patient, sitting on your hands, waiting for a good signal. It's a strong push on GU. See if it holds there. Again, we don't want to call an end to this trend, but if the DXY is continuing to make uptrending structure, then you're going to see the inverse. Very specifically on EU. But then potentially as well on GU. We'll see. Slow and steady wins the race. 5 minutes still very much in a buying condition on GU, and it's not divergent. It could be a break and retest on a channel. You see it? If you want to draw it like real long, like that. Could be something like that. You know, ascending channel, breaks it, comes up. 3-4 candle bearish engulfing. It is still very much in a buying condition. But TDI takes time to move. I'd rather see it in alignment. This could be on the 1 minute a down, sideways down. That's a really strong candle. And what do we say on big candles? Sometimes sideways, sometimes correction, but usually down, sideways, and then down. We'll see. We'll see what it does. DXY is kind of just hanging for a second. No real clear bias just yet. EA higher. Coming back. Testing. Let me extend this trend line. See what it does as it gets there. Let's see if it finds horizontal support, resistance I should say, and then double tops over as this is under, or if it just screams higher. Momentum looks really up on this, like real strong. It's back to the 5 minute 800, it's almost at ADR max on Euro AUD. Looks looks pretty good on GU. I don't know though. I don't know if I'm ready to sell. EA way higher. EU trying to get some momentum up. See what happens if it tries to come back to the highs on like the 5 minute. Yeah, because again, like we know there's a 5 minute close. You can see how it's still in a buying condition here on a 5 minute. It's kind of like down, pins. This could come up. We want to stay with the overall trend. This is kind of double bottoming here, and look at the divergence on the 1 minute. So that's not correct. See? This low is exactly equal. And we do say that we want to stay overall to the upside on this. You got 9 minutes left on this pair, or on this candle, excuse me. So anything could happen. Nothing's really given us a clean read yet. Again, be mindful of EU. Watching NU as well, pockets. Okay. I have zero confirmation on DXY index 9511. Anyone's guess, yeah. SPIMA is just, let's just see what we could do with structure. You know what I mean? See if we can, like I said, GU to the upside. I thought might have been a decent play if we're trying to stay with this uptrend. So we're gonna see what happens. Is it worth taking? If this breaks up and clears this structure, do I then take a stop at the bottom down here at 90 for like 14, 15 pips? Again, overall trend is up. Look at the double rejection down low on the 15-minute here. This candle isn't closed yet. You still have about a little less than 8 minutes, but look, 2 times down low. Overall trend higher. It's overall in an uptrend. We try to stay with that. So is it on a daily beautifully higher? Why would we say lower? We don't want, it could just be a day where it's a candle like this. You know, it doesn't have to move higher, but we know that we like the potential for it to move up to like 2750 to come to this high. There's potential in it to move higher. If this closes 2 candle bullish here, I think I'm going to get long GU with a stop under this structure. It looks like it's trying to go. And this EA was my first idea, and GU was my second idea. This looks like it's trying to get going. DXY's fallen off. My stop would be, do I want to take it under the pins at 90? Or I'd probably take it at like, this looks like it's trying to move. You can see it. Minute 27. Double bottomed here, divergence. Double rejection here on the 15-minute. On the left side of the screen, see these pins. Now it's starting to move higher. It's trying to. We want to stay with the overall trend. Probably should have already been in this pig, but we'll give it a minute and see what this does, because it could just hit here. This is really strong. EU's probably skyrocketing. Yeah, see? We want to stay with the trend. Let's see what happens, though. Let's not get too crazy, because we did say that these could come back and test highs on like EU and dollar index, and then they could find an issue at the highs. So let's be cautious. EA hit here again. Still moving up though. I don't think I'm ready for a short on this just yet. Got 5 minutes for the 15-minute close. It's a nice 2 candle. It's 13 pips. Something like that. Do I like this 5-minute? I think so. I'm long GU. I'm going to keep a really close eye on it. My stop is going to be 126.94. Gonna keep an eye on it. I'd like to stay with the momentum of the overall trend. Just hope this isn't like a break the channel, retest the channel, and then fall back over. We want to stay with the trend. This looks like a really nice 2-candle breakout. Found support. Divergence here. It should kind of, I would think, it should move higher. But it could just be, see, this is what I said on DXY too, where it could just come back and stay above this liquid 50, like it makes a higher low, kind of faking. We'll see. I do want to try and stay with this momentum though, because it is an overall uptrend. I got in at 11. That took me a while to get in. So actually, damn, my stop is like 17. So I need a fair amount of movement on this. I should have been in down here when it was starting to break through, but I wanted to let that 5-minute close. That's all right. If it's gonna go higher, then we're good. I'm just gonna keep a close eye on it. That's all. And if it looks bad, I just pull it real quick. We'll keep an eye on a DXY. Make sure I'm not getting played, which I feel like I could be, because I think it's doing exactly what I said it might do. We'll see. This isn't a selling condition. It could be choppy. DXY could be playing. Like I said, exactly that. Come back, hit the low, but not make it through the trend line, or the liquid 50, and then it pushes up, and so it's like kind of double bottoms. Same with EU, where it could come back, check the highs, but stay under, and then it falters. And then we'll see. I'm down a little bit, like 5 pips. I'm gonna be mindful of what it's doing. Don't want to give up on a trend just yet. See if it finds support. Should I be paying attention to EA instead? Not yet on that. Like I said, on the 5-minute here, did it break this, come back, kind of retest it, and now it's gonna, if it's still in a buying condition, wow. Nah, I don't know. This is dicey. Because it's doing exactly what I felt like it could do, and I kind of got pulled into it. I'm trying to stay with this overall trend. Through the trend line here, could still hold. Hope it just doesn't come back, and then I'd like to try and stay with it though. I don't want to give up on it. What do you think, Drew? Are you wrong? Up, sideways, up. You can see these things. Looks like it wants to try and push higher, but it might just be, I don't know. Could just be choppy. What's it looking like on the hour? 30 minutes. I mean, I really want to try and hold into this. I think it's got potential. Overall trend is long. I need it to go to like 44, something like that. So basically ADR. Because I'm in at 11, 17 pips, so I need 34. I'm in at 11, so I need to go to 127.45. So I'll put that in. 127.45 is my take profit for 2R. Looks like we're getting a little bit of gas here. That would be nice. Up, sideways, up. I'm in profit like a pip. But I do like that it's showing support. I'm going to be mindful what happens on this 5 minutes. We start to get back into that ascending structure. It's a nice close on the 1 minute. DXY looks like it's trickling over a little bit. See, make sure that continues to fall. That should aid in our trade. I'm basically break even right now. It's at my entry. I'm like this. You would anticipate that it should come at least try and test this high here on the 15 minute, right? Comes up, comes down, finds support, pushes up to at least come and test up here, at least. Because if it's going to come higher, it has to at least test here. Is that correct thinking? And then hopefully it comes back to, like, you know, Asia high around the 40s, and then that's where my take profit is. And overall trend is up. Like we see clearly on the daily, it's up. Now it doesn't have to move up, but we are trying to stay in that trend. We'll see what happens as we close this candle here with this trend line. We're about to get either a meeting where it rejects and falls down, or it pushes up and through. I'm hoping for continuation of the trend up and through. But it's anyone's guess at this moment. 5 minute looks pretty good. As you can see, it's like up, sideways, up. It's trying to get up and through. We'll see. A little bit of drawdown, not much, like a pip. Keep an eye on DXY. See if I can surmise what this is doing. EA still floundering at that level. This is going to be really interesting. It's holding the trend line nicely on the minute. See if it can support and drive. Oh, wow! If we hit 2R on this trade, and it goes, it's gonna be a 4-figure day. So let's see. This could be it. This could be the one. Cautiously optimistic. DXY looks like it's kind of starting to fall over. GU starting to push. Come on. Let's see if we could do it. Oh, this would be so cool. This would be very cool. But we're gonna just continue to read the chart. So far, so good. We're with the trend. DXY definitely looks like it's starting to fall a little bit. I'm up about 200 bucks right now. Took a little bit of drawdown at first. We're coming right back into this ascending channel here, so we're going to be cautious about this. Again, this doesn't mean anything. This isn't a perfectly drawn structure, but we still want to be mindful of it. I would really love to see this go, man. I would love to see this go. One candle at a time. 5 minutes for the 15-minute. Like we said, we would like to see it at least come and try and test this structure high. That would make sense to me. We're staying with the overall trend. Yeah, Suprema. Oh man, you're funny. I'll take the fruit, girl, please. Anybody like what we were looking at here on GU? Does anybody feel like it's got potential maybe? Ah, come on, man. Don't fizzle on me. So I'm still in profit a little bit. Really want to see this thing get going. 1 minute's trying to pull. It's starting to like pull. We're holding this trend line, but again, we'll see what happens. I do want to see it at least come up and test the highs. Up here, you know, that would make sense to me. If it comes down, finds support, and then it tries to push up, it should at least come to this high, I would think. Doesn't have to, but again, if I'm consistently doing things the same way, then that's a consistent outcome that I would like to see. And if not, push higher and maybe retest yesterday's high a day. We're trying to stay with this overall trend. Up 180 bucks. Going for about 1200 if this goes 2R, which would be incredible. But one candle at a time. That's all we can do. Two minutes and 40 seconds left in this candle on the 15-minute. It looks nice how it's holding this trend line down here in the lower right of my screen on the 1 minute. See how it's it just keeps holding it and pushing higher. I'm hoping that that continues. Nothing's a guarantee though. DXY has gone ADR, so there's no, it's not necessary that it continues to fall. Doesn't have to. GU isn't also really, it's not as tied to DXY as EU is, but again, it is still a dollar pair. You are going to get a factor, and yeah, now I'm negative as this is pulling back. We'll see how it closes. We'll see. It's uncertain at this moment. We got about a minute and 15. I'd love to see a nice engulfing candle here on the 15-minute. Get through this trend line. Show me that we're still in this uptrend. EA is just holding this level right here, continuing to push higher. Come on, GU, be the one. Be the one. Feed me, man, yeah. On the beach with just like one of those like banana leaves just fanning me off while I'm catching GU pips. Come on. Be the one. About to get an hour close here. Pretty decent rejection. It's possible. It's a pretty nice 15-minute close here, kind of down, reject, reject, and now pushing higher. Looks good. We're starting to surge. See how we close. .30-minute looking good too. Pretty good 15-minute close. See, we're through the trend line. Now, if you do get a bearish candle, it's just not going to hold, obviously. But we're continuing to get upward momentum. It's a nice 1 minute close too. The hour, you can see the rejection on the hour here on the left side of my screen. Rejected, close a little bit bullish, trying to come higher. I'm trying to stay with it, with this overall trend. EA is pushing up. GJ pushing up. So let's see if GBP's got it. Dollar index sideways. Trying to see this trade really get some momentum in it. Don't need much. There is dollar news in 30 minutes for crude oil. Nah, don't go that way. Come on, stay with it. Stay with it. Yeah, GJ looking nice. GJ found support here. Just like I was saying, we don't want to call. This is what happened to me Thursday. Remember I said it comes up, it moves sideways, and then up again, and I was trading it short, and I got bopped. I want to stay with the trend. I want to try and keep riding the trend until it says we're not going higher anymore, you know? And that's why we're in GU, trying to take it higher, and hopefully it doesn't fizzle with this dollar index. But if the dollar index just moves sideways, it's tricky, man. And again, I don't know how tightly correlated GU is to it, because the pound is like can do some things. But you know, if the dollar index is moving up, then this is certainly going to have a reaction because it is dollar based. But I like the potential for it. I want to stay with it. It's not showing me signs yet to get out. We're in profit. It's got every bit of potential to keep moving up. But so does the dollar index. EA higher, 23, 24. Resetting. EU not looking good. We'll see what we can do, man. We'll see if we get this push. See if we can get it. Again, I'm looking to go to 45, which is a little far, but it's definitely within ADR. ADR is 51, 52-ish. We're looking for 45 for 2R. And just trying to stay with this overall trend. See, I like how this came through the trend line. Now I need to see it hold, because if you get a bearish candle, it's going to look like it's wrapping over. This is in a selling condition, but again, it's from this drop. It's overall in an uptrend, so I'm trying to ride that momentum. You can see the hours. I wonder if it waits till news and then makes a move. It's a nice little 2 candle here on the 30-minute. Kind of up, came down, double rejection, held the 50. 2 candle, bullish engulfing. I'd like to see more momentum. But it's a little up and down right now. DXY pushing up. I don't want to close this trade. Don't want to give up on this trade. I think I might have to, though. I don't want to. Still got 9 minutes in this candle. Anything can happen. It's a nice rejection on the 1 minute. Really nice. Get that. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it fills it. Again, we're trying to stay long biased on this. It's very, very choppy right now, especially because of where my entry is. I'd like to see, you know, break, retest this level, and continue higher. We're at the trend line right here on the 5 minute, you can see. So I'd like to see the reaction where it holds it and pushes. If it breaks through, like you can see right here, this was like my entry. So it's right back at my entry. It broke above, it's back at the entry. I'd like to see it hold the entry and then drive higher. If it doesn't, yeah, this is kind of falling away. See how it's filling it on the 1 minute? Damn. Not the way I want it to go. I don't want to give up on it yet. There's still a lot of time in this candle, but if it's wrong, I want to get out quick and not take a full L. Dollar index looks like it's trying to get up. It's too hard for me to call right now. It's not a good candle though in the 1 minute, I'll tell you that much. And you can see here on the 15 minute, as you get a bearish candle, it just doesn't even look like it's through the trend line. But you still have 7 minutes in the candle. I don't really want to close it mid-candle. It could still hold this level of support. DXY looks like it has momentum. I'm about to close this. I wonder, this doesn't look doesn't look good. I'm closing it. Am I closing it? It could just hit the 50 though, Drew. But you could get bopped. I closed it. I'm getting out of this trade. Still got 6 minutes in the candle. I'm gonna close it though, just because the dollar index looks like it has so much momentum. See? Yeah, so we took an L. Cut it real short. Just lost a little bit. 300 bucks. It could hold here. I could be wrong, but I didn't like the way that looked. That's not right. It's not what I want to see. And see, I was just stalling. And EU did what we said. Comes up, makes a higher low. Now it's starting to fall off. Well, we try to stay with the trend. I think that's the best I can do, is try and stay with it. It could hold here and still move up. Don't get me wrong. There's still 5 minutes in this candle. I definitely could have closed it prematurely, but I'm trying to keep my losses small. And it didn't look like what I wanted to see. Like I said, with this dollar index finding support and driving up, yeah, to me that's not going to be conducive to trying to see GU come higher. Who knows? Maybe it just hits here on this 5 minute 50 and then pushes right back up, but this doesn't look great. But anything could happen, because again, there's still 4 minutes left in this candle and the trend is up, so I could have got out a little early. We'll see how it plays. It did say it was choppy. Yeah, you can see the strength on the dollar index. EA just continue to push higher. I was gonna say AU's probably toppling over. So it's a little bit of a bummer, because it could hold too. It hasn't, bless you, it hasn't broken the 50 on this 15-minute. So my close could have been premature, but I really didn't like what I was seeing. But it could just been break above this 800 on the 1 minute. It could have been break above, retest, hold, and then continuation higher. And maybe I closed for nothing just because it made an aggressive push to the downside. Still holding the 50 on the 5 minute. So yeah, certainly could have been an early unnecessary close, but trying to preserve capital. And as the dollar index was looking like it was making a move, so, who knows? Maybe I was wrong on this to not hold in. Time will tell. Minute left on this candle. GU coming right back up. Right back at my entry. Strong. Yeah, I might have closed this a little early. We'll see. Because it just hit the 50 on the 5 minute. Just came up, hit the 50. There was still a lot of time left in the candle. Just faking people out. Got me. It definitely got me. Gotta wait for the candle to close to see what it does. I'd be right back at break even. This is very choppy. Yeah, Supreme Ryan GU. Yeah, I definitely got out a little early because you can see like I'm right back to where my entry is, but you know, just trying to cut my losses quick when it doesn't look right. Maybe I should have been a little bit, you know, just let the candle close, but dollar index looks like it has strong momentum. It's tough. This is a tough read. I think I don't know. Just felt to me like the DXY was making new highs and making higher lows. So I was feeling like, look, man, I think this thing's gonna catch a wave up. It's divergent. It doesn't have to. I mean, because again, we're trying to stay with the trend, but I didn't feel comfortable with that push on GU now. Maybe I'm wrong. I certainly can be wrong, and this actually just moves higher because, again, the trend is to the upside, and I didn't do much except hit this 50 here on the 5-minute. I didn't let the candle close on the 15-minute, and it just wicked. Okay. And it could certainly move higher, and look, I'd be back in profit right now, so I definitely could have closed it a little prematurely. That could be from staring at the lower time frames too much, not completely trusting myself, mixing in a DXY, you know, too many things. I think the important thing to do is just to stay with your overall trend, trust your reads, and go from there. So nothing I can do about it now. I took a L. I'm down $311. This looks like it's trying to move higher, like I was hoping it would. So that's a good lesson for you guys, to make sure we wait for the candle to close and don't get too focused on the lower time frames. Trust the read. I keep getting in my way of my success. But we'll still see. We'll see how this candle plays out. You know, we'll see if it keeps moving or if I made a good read. It should see it move higher. You know. This is still in a selling condition on the 5 minutes, still in a selling condition on the 15-minute. This has every bit of potential to keep falling. This was just a little funny because it was kind of like 50-50. But again, it should come higher. Give the market time. It's right on my chart right here on my whiteboard. Give the market time. This is a higher low. My stop was all the way down here at 94. Just didn't like the way it was fizzling, but again, the market needs time, and this is a lower time frame too, so it can look like anything. Maybe I misread this, but this looked like it was just coming higher off the divergence. And as this was moving higher, I had the feeling that GU was going to come lower. Now maybe it doesn't have to necessarily, but you know, live and you learn. Could still potentially get a short in on like EU if the dollar index is indeed coming higher. It looks like it came up, hold. This trend line down here on the 15-minute on the lower left of my screen. You can see how it's like kind of rising up a little bit. I felt DXY had momentum up off the divergence. Yeah, GU still very probable. That's a nice close on EU. Still in an uptrend though. See, GU pushing higher. I'm short EU. Would have stopped at 90. Up here. Stop at 90. This might be wrong, but I think that this DXY is trying to kick up. We'll see though. I'm going against the trend and I could be wrong. I like this push down. I was looking to see it hold and continue down. Shit, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just really goofing now. Because now I'm going from a pair that was trending to counter trend. And maybe I'm asking for trouble. And now I'm just going to make this day really bad and basically ruin my week. Should just stay with GU. Am I chasing now? Nah, I mean, we'll see. I'd like to see if I can get a reset on this. It doesn't have to though. Just feel like this DXY is trying to push, but I'm going counter. GU's moving higher. Should have stuck this one out. This 10:30 news is about to hit actually. I'm in profit on EU. 30 seconds for the news. I'm getting some push on this, pretty good acceleration. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, see, I was really feeling like this was going to push up. Yeah, EU's starting to fall really nicely. See if I can get it down here. See if that's where it wants to go. Might take profit in. F50. 155.50. It's a nice little kind of 4 candle here. Where could be a level on the 15-minute that this could go to? Could it come back here to like 40 something? I've almost covered my loss on GU. You can see GU spilling over for the moment. DXY just feels like it's trying to push. Looks like it's got potential to keep falling. We'll see. I'm up 260. I'd like to see a reset. I'd like to see it come back to here, like 45. Dollar index looks like it's got strength. Yeah, see how it's kind of settled. Now it's driving higher. That's why I kind of wanted to get into EU as I'm trying to ride this momentum to make a quick correction on my loss. That was also why I wasn't sure that GU was going to keep going, but anything can happen, especially with a news event like this. We'll see. We shall see. Could just hold here on the 5-minute. Broke down, came back, broke again. I was liking the structure I was seeing on the 1-minute. When it made this break right here, I said I might see this come in, at least try and test this low, and it did. And I was hoping that once it did, it would be strongly through and we could get some acceleration to the downside. Again, I'm fighting the current because it is an overall uptrend. It just felt like it was starting to fail. GU's right at my entry. My entry is like 11. But now we're focused on EU. See if we can catch a rip. A little bit divergent here on EU on a 1-minute. Again, I am going against the current. Up about 80 bucks. This news popped up out of nowhere, it looks like. This 915, that wasn't there before. See if we can get a little down, sideways, and then another push down. Or if it's going to continue with this trend. GU back up. EU starting to push too. We'll see. We shall see. GU higher. Looking strong. Looks like it's going to come through. This could be an entry here in a 5-minute. Was not patient enough on GU. Pima, you still in GU? Yeah, GU catching momentum. Here it is. This looks like it's going to be a nice push through. DXY is indeed toppling over. Like right at break even with this EU position. Very confusing. GU just gone. Big miss on my part. Exactly what I said I felt like it could do. Come back to at least check these highs. It's doing that and some. But this EU position is interesting. I'm not sure that. I don't know what to do, honestly. GU is just spot on. I think maybe I just need to close EU, not lose any more money before this thing goes out of control. Yeah, I closed EU. So I'm not having a good day today. You could see clearly GU screaming. Stay with the trend, man. Good job, Supima. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, so big mistake on my part. Look at this. All the way up at 30s, just going higher and higher and higher. My take profit was 45. Like I said, if it's going to come higher, it's going to at least test these highs, if not move to here, and then if not move all the way up here to yesterday's high. It's an overall uptrend. Just stay with it. It was just a little choppy. The wicks got me caught up on a lower time frame. I should have been more focused on staying on the 15-minute because this candle that I got out of closed here sideways, and now it's making another move. This is a nice close on the 5-minute right here, up and through the trend line. I don't know if I could get in again. I should get in again for like a 14 pip stop, but I don't know if I want to do it. It should. This is the best that I've seen all day, you know what I mean? It's 18 pip stop. gonna go. Why would it not? And this is what happens to me sometimes. I get in these trades early and then a really nice candle like this presents and then I don't take it. And this gives me every bit of belief that it should move higher. Man. Yep. It's a shame, man. It's 3 days in a row I've got in my way. Damn, dude. I told you that's the 5-minute entry you want to take, and I then wind up not taking it because I'm down and I've already taken losses, you know. But this is clean. This is a little choppy. This is a nice push. Stops at the bottom. Stay with the trend, man. I say this every day. Just stay with the trend. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Just stay with the trend until it tells you not to. Selling EU, stupid. Just stay with GU. About 12 pips from my take profit here for $1,200. Just getting in my way. Just getting in my way. So you got the pullback here on EA. Man. Good reads, poor execution. And even with GU now, I could have, you know, just locked my stop in. It's a risk-free trade. EU, I was in at 80. It's at 85. GU is the one. GU, I was in at 11. I could have easily put the stop right under here right now because it came back. I retest the entry. Pushed off of it, so you put the stop here now. And then you would hope that it doesn't need to come back. And if it does, then you just kind of go break even, but it's a risk-free trade at that point. It should move higher. It's a new, not new high a day, but that's a nice candle. All right, I'm getting long with GU. My stop's going to be where I said at 11. 127.11. Oops, 128. Right? Hold on. 127.11. Oh, wait. We'll see. We'll see if it pushes. Or if I'm going to make a bigger ass of this day. Because I'm kind of... I don't know that I'm chasing. I'm not chasing it. This is a good entry. It stalled. Now I should get a push. I should have just been at risk-free now instead of... But again, I mean, this is a good entry that I would take. Push. It held. Now try and get it to go. At this point, I'm just looking to make back some of the losses that I took today. I'm going to try and get it to go ADR. 127.52. Which would be 20 pips. Let's see if it gets there. Dollar index looks like it's trying to fall a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like that 5-minute entry is a good entry. You know, so you should see a burst. I'm trying to take it up here to 52. If I can get it up to 52, then I'll make 700 bucks, and I'll wind up making, you know, 300 bucks on the day, cover my losses, and saving another terrible early start for my day. Is 45 was my take profit originally for $1,200. I'm right there. I gotta get out of my way, man. I gotta get out of my way. 1.276, 60 to 62. You like? Let's see. I would like that too. Don't get me wrong. I just hope this thing doesn't fizzle and fall on me now that I'm in it. I mean, it's a really good push through on the 5-minute. Again, I hope it just doesn't pin this Asia high like it did and then just die off on me. And it looks like that's what it's doing. But we'll have to try and hold and see. Nah, this thing's starting to tumble. Let's see. Like I said, that 5 minutes a good entry. You should see momentum upward. It's a good 5-minute entry. And look at the way it's holding on the 15-minute, the trend line. I should see some movement up. I'm in this trade too big though. Because if I lose, it's going to be a bad, bad, bad day. That's all because I got out when I shouldn't have. And I don't feel that I got in when I shouldn't have. That this seems like a really good entry. This nice extension. Up, sideways, and then more up. It did pin this area. It did pin right back to the Asia high. I don't know, man. This is a good entry, but I don't know. This could be a really bad one for me. This could go real bad. Yeah, this looks like it's... Oh, man. Ooh, Jesus. Come on. Like I said, it's a pretty good 5-minute entry. I'd like to see some continuation, but doesn't mean it has to. It looks good on the 15-minute too. The way it got up and above this trend line. The XY looks like it's trying to roll over. I don't know. It's still just sideways on a 5-minute. Kind of up, sideways, hopefully up. If I take a L here, you're gonna see me in a bad way. Yeah, you can see it looks like it's trying to fall over on the DXY. I hope that propels GU higher. Again, this was a nice 5-minute entry. I would like to see the extension from it. EU moving higher. I would have got bopped on that. EA is all the way up at 30. Dollar index down 89. Looks like it's kind of fallen. You could see it's a pretty good 1 minute close. We should see some more downward momentum hopefully on that, and then hopefully we get some propulsion on GU to the upside. Let's see if we can hit that level of 60 Supima's talking about. DXY really starting to fall over. GU starting to ignite. EU igniting to the upside. Again, stay with the trend. I don't know why I was short in EU. I should have just been staying with GU. Let's see if it can keep going. Thanks, Supima. I hope that this reads well. I hope this goes up, man. I don't want to take a L here. This will be a bad L. This will be real bad. This has every bit of potential to just move higher. Because if we can get up to 52, Supima likes 62. I would love 62. I got my take profit at 60, but if I could just make some of this money back, I'm just going to pull it, man. Like, I've had a bad start to these last 2 days, put myself in a hole. This trade should be way, way, way in profit, but I closed it like a schmuck, so I'm hurting myself. And I'm trying to help myself now and manage my emotions simultaneously. We got a minute and a half on the 15-minute and the 5-minute and the hour. It looks like it's trying to come lower on this DXY. GU's trying to push. Again, this 5-minute entry is a good entry. It should see momentum to the upside. And just, we'll see what it does. Anything can happen. We are down at the lows. This is at ADR. Trying to give the market time and not give up on it. But I definitely fucked up today by not holding this entry down here at 11. And now I'm trying to fight my way back. Excuse me, which is not a good feeling. $20 seconds. Starting to move a little bit. Dollar index. This looks like it's going to close through on the 5-minute. It's going to close through the trend line on the 15-minute. Hopefully, that's more momentum. Short. Let's see. I'm like right at break even on GU. Still above the trend line, still above the liquid 50 on a 5-minute. That's another 2 candle. Is having trouble with this trend line on the 5-minute. Let's see the push, man. Let's see it. Make me a believer. It's above the trend line here on the 15-minute. Pretty strong hour close. Nice 30-minute close. I mean, we should see this move higher. I had nasty drawdown on this thing, dude. Like, unbelievable. I just want to see this get up and out. Like I said, I should have never got out of this trade, and right now I'd be sitting in it risk-free instead of sweating, which is not good for my emotions because you guys know I'm not great with my anxiety. This was a up 2 candle. I'd like to see continuation. Oh, man. I definitely have concern. I don't know. I don't know if I can hold into this. It's my anxiety's really getting to me, and I don't want to take a massive loss, which I'm already taking one right now. If this thing stops me out, then I'm going to lose like $1,000, and I'm not in that type of mindset. That'll really frustrate me, and I'm having a hard time right now emotionally because I see how it can move up, but again, if I take it, oh, this is just, it's not gonna be good, man. It's like I messed up and now I'm just making it worse. I'm giving back basically everything I made this week right here, and I can't sit in it. I have to get out. I can't hope to see it move higher, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be bad, dude. It's gonna be real bad. I'm out of the trade. It's my max loss for the day, 4%. I'm out. That's a bad loss, but it's all relative because it's relative to my account, so it's a 4% loss. Bad day. Bad day on my part. It's not good trading. Not good trading at all. I can't risk it. I can't risk another I can't risk losing like $1,100 today. It's not worth it. It's just a bad day. You have them sometimes. I had a great play on GU, and I'm just getting in my way. But at this point, I can't hold into it. There's too much at risk. And while it might play out, I just don't have the emotional fortitude or the financial to sit in this candle. I just can't do it. So I have to get out. I should have been out here at 40 from my entry at 11. It would have been probably $1,000, close to it. And I'm completely the opposite way. I lost 800. So this is trading, man. This is Forex. This is the market. This is what happens, you know. If you guys are still in these and trading, I wish you well. And I hope that you get your profits. I can't endure anymore. I have to tap out and come back and see what tomorrow does. It's bad. It's really, really bad. I mean, I was up $700 the last 2 days, and I had a great start to the week, and now I'm down like $100, 120. So, hey, man, there's no hiding it. This is what it is. I have to come back and try to do it again tomorrow. But I'm gonna get out of here, and I will catch up with you guys later. Thanks for being on, and good luck with the rest of your trades for the day. Don't give anything back.